Before we formally start the convention, let's have a quick chat with members of the Philippine Nurses Association UK. So tell us, Chilito, what can we expect from today's event?
Good morning, Malcolm. On today, before I start, I'd just like to say this is the first ever World Cafe Convention. So if I may greet my fellow colleagues and nurses around the world, here in United Kingdom, we got good morning to wherever you are in United Kingdom. I'm currently in London. I'm a nurse specialist in a trust, and NHS trust in London. And to my colleagues in Middle East, Kaif Falik Habibi, to our fellow colleagues and families in the Philippines, magandang araw po, magandang gabi po sa inyo dyan sa Pilipinas. And to my fellow Ilocanos na imbag na malimyo amin dita. And I'm now going to speak to my colleagues in Indonesia. Salamat malam teman-teman Barawit dari Indonesia. You are welcome anywhere you are in the world. And to America, good morning and good evening. So Malcolm, to answer your question, we in the PNA UK, we come together in support of our colleagues at this time of Year of the Nurse. Apparently, sadly, we are in the middle of pandemic. To bring out some positivity during this time of crisis, we've thought of coming out with World Cafe Convention, the first ever of its kind. So on today, we merely reflect on what and who we are, the nurses, and what we contribute into the world, bringing in our colleagues from different sides of the world, America, Asia, and UK. And we got delegates all over the world. On today's event, they will expect a poster presentation, because we had actually called for abstract in July 2020. Malcolm, 3 months in preparation. I've been in this kind of convention. We got a year to prepare. This time we got 3 months to prepare in the middle of pandemic. Why do we do it? Just to bring back some normality, bring back what we do, bring back some positive atmosphere. So we all need that at this time. We haven't forgotten. We pay tribute to our fallen colleagues. This is why we do it. We live and continue their services. Apart from the post, we got abstract presented, and thank you to our partners, the Physicians Journal, with 4 abstracts. 1 came from Philippines and 3 in United Kingdom. So our Philippine National Nurses Association also contributed. Thank you very much, all the way from Mindanao, and 3 from United Kingdom, where you will hear them today on the abstract presentation. This is while we log in and prepare. In the afternoon, we will have the main convention and summarized and welcomed by my colleague John Ariola later.
Thank you so much. It's great hearing from you, and I really admire the passion and dedication that you've all shown. And I'd like to give my personal tribute to our Filipino nurses and healthcare workers, not only in the United Kingdom, but all around the world, who have sadly and terribly lost their lives during this pandemic. You know, your service will never be forgotten. PNA UK was founded in 2003. How did it make a comeback? And this is a question for Oliver Soriano.
Hi, Malcolm, and good morning to everyone. I'll not do the same as what Shell have already done. I think I just want to welcome everyone to the first ever World Cafe Convention of the Philippine Nurses Association UK. The essence of bayanihan of the Filipino community has always been noticeable and notable across the world. And what brings us together, not only today, but also for the past couple of years, is the essence of how people have been affected by COVID-19. Unfortunately, PNA UK got dormant in 2018, and just recently in March, April this year, that's where we actually convene as like-minded, like-hearted individual to generate that interest of bringing Philippine Nurses Association UK back into the limelight. The essence in itself is to kind of bring forward the voices of our Filipino community, the voices of our Philippine nurses across the UK, and also at the same time linking up with the different networks and organizations, not only in the UK, but also across the globe. We have worked together with other organizations in the UK, particularly with the BME networks in different organizations, with Mary Seacole Trust, with other organization, local organization as well. And more importantly, it's like linking up as well with other organization that brings forth BME issues. So we are fortunate enough to actually have our colleagues here from the British Indian Nurses Association, Malawian Nurses Association, and Nigerian Nurses Association. What we aim in Philippine Nurses Association UK is to bring forward and be part of that wider nursing global discussion of where we are now and what is it that we can do and give back to our Filipino community and the Philippine nurses across the globe. That's the aim, and hopefully this is not the last, and the aim is like there will be more of this coming, not just for next year, but the years to come.
Thank you so much. It's really great to hear from you and to know that we really want to do this to give nurses that voice, to represent Philippine nurses, but not only that, to highlight the achievements of Philippine nurses on the world stage. I'd like to ask Dennis Singsong now, what has been the Philippine Nurses Association UK's project? Can you just enlighten us, please?
Hi, Malcolm, and hi, everyone, to all our delegates and attendees. Welcome to the World Cafe Convention. And to answer your question, Malcolm, we have been really busy the last few months. As you mentioned earlier, PNA UK was established in 2003 by our father, Michael Duque. And although the organization had a bit of a hiatus for about a couple of years, just like the Phoenix, we resurfaced during the height of the pandemic 5 months ago. And the last few months had been a whirlwind and massive flurry of activities for our small core committee members. We have been liaising with a lot of National Health Service trusts all over the country, and even with community providers and private healthcare providers. We have been meeting up with newly arrived nurses from the Philippines almost weekly. I think we have been doing it actually every weekend in the last 3 months, and it's been really, really overwhelming and heartwarming that despite of the pandemic, there's still activities, and I think that's when we need the healthcare workers most. And as you know, we mostly cater to the qualified nurses, but Philippine Nurses Association isn't just for qualified nurses. We also welcome student nurses and healthcare workers, support workers, or healthcare assistants. We're all in this together, and we are reaching out to everyone to join us, help others, help us reach out the others. And the next few months will be more of a test for our resilience, but I know we can do it. If we managed to do it the last 6 months, we'll do it even better this time. Fingers crossed. And welcome to everyone. I hope that answers the questions, Malcolm.
It does. You know, thank you so much for that. And I think it's really good that Philippine nurses have that voice, if you like, but not only that, I think it's all about we are all in this together. You know, Philippine nurses have really been in the battleground, on the front line, fighting this pandemic in very important specialities. ITU, obviously rehabilitation, obviously charge nurses, senior nurses, and very much, particularly in the NHS, Philippine nurses play a vital part. So I'd like to thank you all. We're moving on to our next question. What's in store now for Philippine Nurses Association UK future? And that's a question to Jan Ariola.
Thank you, Malcolm. Thank you for that question. I'm John Ariola. I just want to say welcome to the World Cafe Convention of PNA UK, the first of its kind, the time wherein we're able to meet together, to be together virtually, and we're able to reach all our colleagues across the globe. For me, as a personal experience, I was given the opportunity to become a member of the interim committee. As one of the youngest members, I was able to see that this committee is not only for the senior nurses, it can be nurses across generations. And what I would like to say that the future of PNA UK, it will be more inclusive, as what Mr. Dennis have said. It can not only be nurses, but all her healthcare professionals, student nurses who are willing to be part of this organization, for us to improve more, to support and to enhance our competencies, for us to be able to reach our potentials. I think the main purpose of PNA UK is to uplift each and every Filipino nurse in the UK, and also those who wanted to go to the UK to become nurses, or in any healthcare profession that you would like to do. We are here to support you. And I think that's the message that we want to bring in today's convention. Thank you very much.
I really do appreciate your comments. I'd like to welcome you to this event today as well, and I'd like to welcome all of our colleagues. Thank you so much to all of you for these questions that you've kindly answered for me, and I'd like to give everybody now an official welcome to this conference. Welcome guests, visitors, colleagues and friends to the first Philippine Nurses Association UK World Cafe Conference. It is our pleasure to have you on this historic event, of which we hope to share with you valuable learning ideas and share good practice. The Philippine Nurses Association of United Kingdom was formed in 2003, and since then it's been established itself as the leading and authoritative professional nursing organization of Philippine-trained nurses who have now come back to work and live in the UK. It has also become a registered UK charitable organization with local and international charitable activities. PNA UK acknowledges that during its early years of existence, it was recognized and credited as an international chapter of the PNA National Headquarters in Manila. The nursing landscape has considerably changed, advanced, and improved. Adapting to growth and development to continue to address and advocate for the new generation of nurses, the association has reviewed itself. With the support and guidance of excellent nurse leaders, PNA UK is now an independent and autonomous national organization of Philippine nurses in the United Kingdom. PNA UK will continue to represent, advocate and promote the interests of Philippine nurses locally and globally without hindrance and restrictions. PNA UK now stands as the foremost association that represent Philippine nurses here in the UK. Today, PNA UK delivers the first world conference amidst the pandemic, aptly following the theme of the International Council of Nurses. Our World Cafe Conference, Nursing the World to Health, is the epitome of the association's service to the nursing profession. Throughout the day, PNA UK will present to you various topics and educational materials, which we hope you will find interesting and engaging. We encourage you to send us your messages and feedbacks. Before we begin our PNA UK World Conference, please let me remind you of the house rules. Number 1, please make sure you use and type your correct name during the convention, as attendance will be recorded. Please mute your microphone to avoid unnecessary noise and feedback. This convention is being recorded for education and training purposes. Respect the opinion, ideas, and suggestions of other participants. There will be a dedicated Q&A at the end of every session. You can also ask your questions on the fly using the chat box. To receive your e-certificate at the end of the convention, an email will be sent to all participants in an evaluation link. complete the evaluation to receive your e-certificate. At this point, I'd really like to thank the Philippine nurses of the United Kingdom, and I'd also like to thank the PNA UK for making me your ambassador of Goodwill. It's an absolute honor, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, I always have this great sense of joy when I see Filipino nurses. They make me smile because I know they have a background of care. Philippine nurses have come from a life of caring. You know, back home in the Philippines, as children are growing up, they see their parents caring for their grandparents. When they then go abroad to the UK, they send money back home to their own children who also qualify as nurses, and also they come abroad. So I've always said this, I believe Philippine nurses are involved in this life circle of care, and I think that's what makes them very special. And continue to with our conference, let me turn over to Mrs. Chelo Kaniha, who will chair the next part of the conference. Over to you, Miss Kaniha.